Hey everybody, Allie with Novella Bloom. Happy Thursday. It's almost Friday, which means it's almost the weekend. I am out here in my garden watering, and I was noticing how beautiful everything is looking. And I thought I should capture it all on video so that when I'm too old to garden, I can look back and see everything and how beautiful everything is in early spring here in Burleigh, Washington. So right here I have 4 Yuletide camellias from Monrovia. I bought one and then for my birthday in November, when they were in glorious bloom, my husband bought me 4 more. And so the 5th one is over to another part of the garden. But I wanted to plant something here that would be a living screen, because as you can see on our lattice, we have a hole in it, and I'm just not a big fan of lattice. So I planted these close enough together that they would touch and create a nice living screen. And one thing I didn't think about when I planted them here was that this is the pathway that the deer walk down. And I didn't realize that deer eat camellias. So, but that's how you learn. So yeah, I'm not gonna dig them up and move them. I'm just gonna spray some baby deer repellent, or sorry, not spray, but sprinkle some deer repellent around the base of each one, and hopefully that'll help. I don't know, deer, if they're hungry enough, will eat anything. So anyway, Yuletide camellias, they get, I think, 8 to 10 feet tall, and they will touch. They're spaced about 4 feet apart. So yeah, they like, I have them in part sun right now. So those are the camellias. And it's funny, actually, the camellia is the first flower that got me into gardening. Before we moved here, we lived in a redwood forest in the Santa Cruz, California mountains, and there were 3 or 4 camellias planted on the mountainside, and they bloomed every year, and I just was so impressed with how hardy they are, and they offer beautiful color, you know, when a lot of other things are not blooming yet. So down here I have some lamium, and it gets these really beautiful yellow flowers. Lamium also, the flowers, you can get them in pink and I think white, and you can put them in hanging baskets as a nice little trailer. I love it as ground cover, and that's one of the things I would like to focus more on this year, is adding different types of ground cover to my garden. So please excuse the pots laying around with debris in them. I just kind of pick up weeds as I go, or pull the weeds as I go. Okay, over here is our blue spruce, and this thing is about 30 years old. The previous owners planted it when they built the house, and I'm not the best, or not the most knowledgeable person about trees, especially blue spruces, but the branches down here are kind of bare. They're losing their needles, and I'm just assuming it's because they don't get enough sun, and it's just part of the aging process. So if you know anything about blue spruces and what's going on with the branches, I would love to hear your advice. Underneath that, I have some Candy Tuft, which is a beautiful ground cover. Look at how pretty that is. Crystal white. And this naturalizes here. It's just kind of rambling underneath the blue spruce, and it pops out over there a ways under the Japanese maple, and I just love it. I always pick up more of this when I see it at the nursery. So if you're looking for a good ground cover, full sun, I would go with Candy Tuft for sure. Okay, right here is a Sonic Bloom Weigela. It is not in bloom right now. I think it needs more sun because half of the plant blooms and the other half doesn't. And when it does bloom, it's this beautiful pinky, like red wine color. I do have some grass growing up in it. I wasn't really thinking it through when I planted it here. I should have removed the grass, but I just thought, oh, I'll just mow around it, which I do, but that doesn't solve the problem of it growing up in the middle of the plant. So if you are planting in a new area that has grass, my suggestion would be to take the time to pull the grass, remove it, and then plant. You'll thank me later. Okay, over here is our Crimson Queen Japanese maple. I love how it has red and green on the same leaves. It's a beautiful kind of texture, weeping kind of form next to this very strong and stout spruce. It just kind of softens this area a bit. I love it. This is our Weeping Cherry. It's not in bloom right now. It's one of the first trees in our landscape to bloom. Usually at Easter time, it's covered in beautiful white flowers, and this is where we see the bees first in our garden, and I just love it. Underneath it, I planted a hydrangea, and I think that was a mistake. It's not getting enough sun. It's a pistachio hydrangea. It's really beautiful, but it's just not getting enough sun. And deer love hydrangeas, and this hydrangea is pretty close to the camellias, so I'm sure it's been grazed on by the deer already. But that's how you learn. Okay, and then over here is some more of the Candy Tuft that is just spreading like crazy. Love it. And growing out of it is a landscape rose that I've been trying to pull out for years, and it's just not going anywhere. So I'm just gonna leave it and let it do its thing. Then we have a huckleberry bush. I almost pulled this out, but my husband, who grew up on Vashon Island for middle school and high school, told me about how he used to make huckleberry ice cream. So I decided to leave it, and I actually love the color with the kind of the orange and the green together. And then these are going to turn into the actual huckleberries, or I guess these are huckleberries that are forming. Candy Tuft is kind of climbing up and weaving itself through there, so I'm just letting that go. I think it's really pretty. Over here I have a hydrangea paniculata. I can't remember which one it is. I think it might be Pinky Winky. But that'll be blooming probably in like May or June. Then I have this arbor from Gardener Supply, and up this side I'm growing grapes, just a table grape, a nice snacking grape. And then on this side I'm growing a Blaze red climbing rose and a light purple clematis. If you are looking for a nice combination of two vining plants to grow up a trellis, I would highly recommend roses and clematis. It's a classic pairing, and it's just absolutely beautiful. These have been here for about 3 years. So you can see the clematis is getting a bunch of her buds that are going to be blooming soon. There's a bunch more up there. I don't see any rose buds yet. Usually the clematis blooms first and then the rose. I put a picture of this hydrangea on my Instagram a while back. It is a macrophylla, and it gets, on one bloom it could have pink, blue, and purple all at the same time, and it's just lovely. I didn't cut it back last season, so I'm interested to see how it does this year. And then under that I have 3 hostas. 2 of them were given to me by my dear friend Jan before she moved. We taught together in the Silicon Valley for many years, and she wanted me to have her hostas. So there's 2 of these. I can't remember what they're called, but they get massive. They'll grow, maybe this tall. Oh, sorry. So you won't even be able to see under this hydrangea. And I bought a 3rd one. And then I also have some lamium and ivy and creeping jenny. I love creeping jenny. I didn't realize that it can spread like this. I'm okay with that because I just really love it. But there's a raspberry stem. Great. If you don't want creeping jenny to spread everywhere, then I would maybe just plant it in a pot. That would be my suggestion. And then over here, this was the very first topiary I ever tried my hand at. It's a spiral boxwood. Needs a little bit of a trim. Need to do that soon. It's about 5 years old, and I just love it. Got it from Monrovia. And then this is my Carl Rosenfeld peony. And in just a few days, it will be in glorious bloom. This beautiful, bright magenta color. I planted one on the other side as well. This goes into our workshop. And it's just covered in buds. I'm super excited to see it in bloom. And yeah, there's my shadow. And then we have our tulips. Just got these from Home Depot. Planted them in the fall. I have a Feather Falls grass that was in my window box last year. And I decided to go with a different kind of design in the window box for this year. So I just popped it out and put it in this pot. And then this is just a hanging basket I picked up from Home Depot and put it in this planter. Need to remove the hanger. But anyway, just wanted to show you the garden. It's between our house and our workshop. And my next video, I think, will be of the cut flower garden that I've been working on this week. And I'll show you the progress there. So, hope everyone is having a great day, and hope you have a great upcoming weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.